Well, hello, folks. Top Gun here with you, and I got a good one for you today. I have a feeling things are changing. I don't know. This is like right at the moment where, I don't know. I've been talking about this crypto spring, bullish. How could someone be bullish right now? I'm so bearish. I'm bullish. The end of the world is the bull's case. I mean, I think I've talked about that a bit on this show before, but what potentially could be going on right now? Like everyone has been watching stocks to crash and crypto to crash, everything to come tumbling down. And right now I'm looking at Bitcoin, and this is hilarious. I'm wondering if while I record this, if it's going to plummet or crack. Because if you know what this line is. Let's change it to days, just in case you don't. Do you know what that line is yet? Is this filling it in for you? Trend is your friend until the end. But where is the end of the trend? And that's that line. Oh, that's the one it's kissing right now, playing with. And I'm wondering, because really, what's going on in the bond market? And ouch kabibble. That's what's going on in the bond market. Very big ouch kabibble. Switch to weeks so you can see how much ouch kabibble. Yeah, 2008 is when we were down this low before. The end of the world. And right now there are strange things happening. Like lumber is starting to go up, equities are starting to melt up. The Dow Jones is up for the week, not just today. Switch to the days, but you can see the week has been trending up. Now this can still crack down. Like, is this really the end of where we're going to see the pain? But I mean, this is basically, I was a little early calling the bear market in some ways, like waiting for pain to come down, but I was pretty much right on it. People are like, how do you know? Well, I'm watching some key signs and I've got a feeling, and certain people are telling me content that makes sense. And recently I've been paying attention to a few people, and the content that makes sense is, how do you rescue the bond market? Okay, instead of just saying they'll come up with a way, don't worry. How do you play QE, quantitative easing, without calling it QE, quantitative easing? So in accounting, there's a few different processes of creative accounting to balance. Like debt becomes an asset. That's hilarious in accounting, and that's essentially how money is made. Corporate bonds, government bonds, debt. We will pay you back later. Still got a little drywall up my nose from work. It's itchy. So, yeah, treasuries and bonds. So, anyways, the government creates debt into bonds. We'll pay you back later. And it gives those to the Treasury. Or, sorry, the Treasury produces the bonds and gives those to the Fed. The Fed gives Treasury notes, if I'm not getting this wrong. And the Treasury notes can then be deposited in a bank and turned into cash. And later on, cash will be used to repay that debt. And that's the interesting thing about yields. And with the GDP, normally the GDP should be greater than the actual amount of debt paid. So, hey, we're selling more than we are using debt so we can pay off and manage this debt. And the debt is exploding with the current interest rates trying to crush inflation. So the interest rates themselves can't come down. And everyone thinks, well, if the interest rates come down, the whole market has to collapse. Yes and no. Creative accounting. So the Treasury, there are laws or regulations at least that prevent the Treasury from buying risky assets and doing moves like this, but they're looking at possibly doing a bond buyback program. Buy back the 20-year bonds, which will drop the yield on the bonds. It'll stabilize the bond market a little bit, but they can't create or destroy money. All they can do is issue more bonds, debt, to the Fed and get money through that, or issue them to the market and get money through that. They can't actually create money, but they do have money. So they could use money right now to buy up those bonds, and then months later issue the debt, the bonds, 30-year bonds, to uh, pay for those, for the money they borrowed from something else, basically, to pay for those. And with that creative accounting, the debt will appear smaller, and you'll get the effect of quantitative easing. You'll get stability in the bond market and a chance for certain assets to recover, not necessarily all-time new highs. The interest rates at the Fed can stay high, and the government gets, well, the taxpayers get shafted because, well, the debt's actually worse at the higher interest rate. Like right now, if you buy a house, it doesn't matter if the price came down, with the interest on the loans, you still be paying more than somebody who bought last year at the top of the market. How crazy is that? Uh, yeah, so I look around at a few different things, and the Dow Jones is fighting to hold on. So basically, if we get into a situation where the bond buybacks happen by the Treasury, well, that's the end of the world is over. If the bond market stabilize, it's the end of the world, and other things can start to stabilize, and they can kick the can down the road. Now, hopefully, I've seen it outlined in some papers. Probably won't be done, but if they can keep the interest rate above the GDP, like if, or is it the other way around? Try and keep the GDP at 6% and keep the interest rate at 4%. Make the cost of borrowing hard, but kind of incentivized to rebuild the infrastructure and getting GDP up over many years. That can rebalance the economy. You'll see different names pumping. It's not the risk on atmosphere of trade big stock, but big tech, sorry, like Tesla and all the other names. Like Tesla's down to 200 and Netflix is up to 3 almost. Isn't that funny how Netflix is going up? And I've been saying since this happened, I think maximum pain might have occurred. There might be room to move down, but this might be a safer place. And it's interesting how people are rallying here while Tesla is dropping and Apple is dropping. So if it's not the end of the world and some assets are going to recover, okay, and maybe the ones that took pain earlier are going to recover, okay. Well, Hex had its bear market first, and it's broken past its long line of resistance, which means that long line of resistance doesn't mean what it used to. We're in crypto spring territory. And so even though this is, you got to zoom in to see this action, I am starting to think the way this has been holding on, even if Bitcoin crashes down, Hex, like this line down here, this sub-cent line, no, it's not in reach anymore. There's no way that'll even happen. This is what I think maximum pain is, and even if I'm wrong, that would be the absolute maximum pain I'm feeling at this point. Even if Bitcoin goes down, the way the RI has been responding, the way sentiment seems to be building around Hex, and the fact that alt scene in crypto is spawning, and if it's not the end of the world, that will pretty much put crypto back in its regular 4-year trend, where it might be the speculative risk on asset that's able to flourish in an environment that's more catered to industrial growth. So the markets continue. Schmuckers and General Mills continue to go, ha ha, what are you talking about? There is no recession. Lockheed Martin kind of looks the same way. Boston Dynamics, they're doing fine. But in the stock market, not your keys, not your crypto. So we've heard about Celsius going down. We've heard about 3 Arrows Capital going down, Voyager going down. Not your keys, not your crypto. All the users have had all their funds stolen, and all they had to do is move to their wallet and keep it. So when you buy stocks, or even bonds, do you actually physically hold these stocks or bonds? No, you buy them from a broker. So does a broker hold these physical stocks or bonds? No, they sell you an IOU for these stocks or bonds based on an IOU they hold from someone else for these stocks and bonds. So, wait, all these stocks and bonds are with a middleman. Hmm. Did you know there's funny things that interestingly happen in the market? Like, oh, there's only supposed to be, say, 10,000 shares of this, but somehow we accidentally sold 15,000? Oopsie doodle. Because it's a system of IOUs. And, oh, it was a mistake. Um, so, yeah, the stock market, I don't like the way that we have to rely on middlemen. I refer to it because I believe it's the basis of the economy and it's still connected to crypto. Because market sentiment and the way the world works, it is what it is. I watched the correlation unfold during the crash, and I commented on my channel, including when I called the June bottom and said this is a tradable bottom. I didn't know that it might actually have been the bottom. I'm glad I called it out, though. I'm glad people have gotten to take advantage of it. So with crypto, as long as I'm holding it in my wallet with my seed phrase that I don't share with anyone, I'm holding my asset. I know I'm holding my asset. There's no questions about that. I'm in control of it. No one can go bankrupt playing with my assets and then, oh, they've misappropriated them or stolen them or whatever. I don't get them back. Not happening. Okay. That makes me feel better holding this. This is why I like crypto better. And so, yeah, I'm looking at Hex and I am DCing in. This is beautiful. It's just saying, here, use your chance. Buy me. I'm giving it to you for ages. And Pulse Chain's coming soon. When it does, we're going to see some action. And I don't think we're going to see these prices again. I'm really not sure if we're even going to drop below that 3-cent line. That's why I've started DCing in. And I'm starting to save in case there's a bigger bottom or use during Pulse Chain once it launches and I see a dip in there. But I'm even looking at other things, and I'll talk about these. I wouldn't say buy them. I didn't buy them, but I said free claim them because it's safe. I did look at the smart contract for this, and I've been happily eating popcorn, sitting and laughing the whole time. Like, look at this chart. Look at this chart. This is where it started, basically at $1. So I got my coins for free at $1, and all I did was not sell them. And there's this lovely red bull trend that's been going the whole time. There's wonderful hex-shaped W market trending. And then, oh, they actually kept building on it after they provided liquidity. I wasn't sure if this would be a pump and dump scam. That's why I'm not buying any. And it's a meme coin. I mean, I don't care about meme coins. But it was one of my first free claims, like the first free claim I got for being a Hex stakeholder. That was a nice thank you for being a Hex stakeholder. And then that thank you has continued as they've continued to build on it, and now they're making Pulse Bitcoin. Oh my god. I still think that's a joke. And, at this point, somehow I'm sentimentally attached to my little hush puppies from my Pulse stock. So I'm not willing to burn them and slaughter them and send them to the farm just so I can get some ASIC tokens and farm Bitcoin. I don't know. When it actually becomes Pulse Bitcoin becomes available in the market, will I buy the dip? I don't know. This has been a very nice thank you. It's a bunch of money. Maybe I will turn some of that in just a little bit and get a little bit of Pulse Bitcoin. I don't have a lot of gas, so I mean doing the whole switching around, jumping into the system and doing the mining. If I had more money, it's funny, and we are bored in a bear market waiting for Pulse Chain. And these creators are going, yeah, we're going to get a copy on Pulse Chain. Okay. So, I mean, cool. And then I collected my weight tokens because testnet could be coming soon. I mean, I probably should have waited for V3. Get a little more weight tokens, the constant dump chart. But hey, it's, what's great about these free claims? I spent like $10 in gas and I've got, over $100 in weight. I spent $10 in gas and, I've definitely got over $100 in Pulse D. So I actually got rewarded for spending some gas for my free claim. So that made it worth it for me to go spend gas on these free claims. And then I'm even looking at another chart, which is just making the smallest little beautiful bull flag right here, as basically it's ending its long trending down bear market as well, and starting to just be flooded with a little more liquidity. I find that pretty interesting, and a little bit exciting. Like, all right, is it going to be moon all-time highs? Is there huge X's? Not necessarily, but could these be bottom prices where it might skip up like a 1x, a 2x, and we'll never see these prices again? It might take forever to go longer. Like, who knows? Maybe we'll get a 5x and it'll dip back down, but not all the way below this blue line once we crack over it. That's where I'm hopeful, because again, what are these long-term through the bear market bull trends that have been holding these assets? So internet money that has a wallet coming that's going to buy and burn the internet money, and then, oh, I'm getting a free copy of the internet money, a triple copy, because I'm getting it on Ethereum and I'm getting it on Pulse Chain at the amounts I'm having. And the founders are doing more and more to stabilize the project, including burning the founder supply. So this is all the burnt supply. They used to have 420. They thought it was a cute 420 trillion tokens. 410 of them are burnt. That means, yes, there are just under 10 trillion tokens left. 4.5 of these trillion tokens are still in a fund for giving away with the IM wallet. Maybe like 100 tokens or whatever they turn out to be per wallet. We don't know. But the giveaway, that's what this address for, which means the number one holder, the founder addresses, are gone. They deleted their big, huge stashes. So now the largest address is 646 billion. And I mean, yeah, that's a little daunting. It's a little extreme in the supply, but this is a deflationary supply. It's been being burnt for different ways and reshaped. 97% of the supply is burned, but that number will continue to go up and go up. So supply will continue to get bought and burnt. And all right, that's cool. Crypto spring. So I am DCAing into Hex. I am eating my popcorn and watching Pulse D. I am eating my popcorn and watching my weight, understanding that, oh, it established a price floor. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's got a price floor. There's the dotted line, but I drew it in. It's sitting on its price floor. And granted, it's a bit of a dump coin because people keep free claiming it and dumping it. But its price floor, well, right now, do the simple math. If you get 10,000 tokens, that's 46 USD dollars. And the claim, if you stacked for Pulse Chain, that's exactly 10,000 tokens, and then some change. So if it's less than $46 in gas to claim, you get some money. And hey, look, there's a price for it. So there's a chance you might actually get more money for this. And especially if they keep building on it, like Pulse D is. Interesting how these community members are coming around and trying to reward the Hex community. Am I willing to spend my money on these? No. No, I don't know them and trust them like RH. So I'm willing to free claim because, yeah, there's actually value incentivized into that. Thank you for that. I am. I DCA into that a little bit too, because I have faith in this future wallet, and I've got faith in KG and Don, and I really look forward to seeing it operate on Pulse Chain because that's where it was meant to be, and Pulse Chain should hopefully be coming soon, which should have some impact on Hex prices. And the fact that basically, like in 2008, the banks crashing was the end of the world, and then bailout. Now we get to look at the bond market, and this is the financial accident that's happening. Still got some room to drop down lower. So might the turnaround be happening this week? No, it doesn't have to happen yet, but the bottom may be approaching because this has to be dealt with. Basically, if it drops below the 84, then I think we're starting to fall into lower than the past decade. It's an absolute nightmare if we get below here. So somewhere in this range, basically of the 10 points between 84 and 94, we better hope to see a correction here. And probably will, because, ooh, shady, like I talked about, Treasury markets breaking the law to buy bonds and then just release them later. No, they wouldn't do that to save asset prices and kick the can down the road further, just like they did in 2008. Nah. Nah. I don't know. Hopefully, this explains what I'm looking at, which has got me by the seat of my pants. Whew, excited again for the first time in this whole bear market, because the bear market might be ending. And by ending, it could be like, oh, we've been rolling downhill. We're about to crash into a wall. Yeah, we're going to come to a stop. It'll be painful, sudden drop and a sudden stop. And then it recovers just as fast as it happened. Like, the one thing is, I don't want to miss the bottom. Like, as you follow markets and follow sentiment, basically, they only tell you about it after the event. Like, you hear about the bottom after the bottom happened. You hear about the top after the top has already cashed in, months after. And right now you've got people in the market actually screaming, hey, it's the end, don't buy stocks, like JP Morgan and stuff. And when they're telling the public that, it's usually a good sign, the contrarian indicator that, we're being lied to. That's how the game works. And things are underfoot to rescue things. Am I saying leap all into bonds? No. I explained why the market is crooked, but that crooked manufacturing is going to keep the world a turning. And so, yeah, I do believe we're going to see crypto spring in the crypto market. Not all-time new highs. Some projects will do that stuff. Some alt projects doing little 10x's here and there. You could get wrecked because they could pump and then they could dump in this altcoin season. Holding long term always seems to pay me the best. DCA into the things I like Hex and Maxi. Oh, and here's the tip of the day. See how the Maxi price is staggering a little bit? So, over the last month, I think, basically, with the new token release, because normally Maxi holds at about almost double of Hex recently, but I've seen it dip just a little bit harder than Hex, and I'm wondering why. And I went and searched something a little bit fun, because we know Maximus kept going. I didn't have a chance. I didn't have gas to even and time to participate in Decky. And this is pretty interesting. Really interesting. This is a Hex stake. So look at the price of Decky right now. It's only been around a month, but yeah, it's less than 3 cents per. So if Decky's less than 3 cents per, that means, yeah, I could trade 1,000 Hex because I wasn't able to put them in the stake, but yeah, grab some Decky, and I got more than 1,000 Decky, and each Decky will represent the original Hex token that went in to make the contract, plus the Hex at the end of the stake, plus the Hedron at the end of the stake. So it will trade at a premium above Hex, just like Maxi is. But right now, for whatever reason, Hex is at the premium and Decky is at the discount. So yeah, tip of the day is I swapped some Hex for some Decky because it should trade at a premium. This will have more Hex coins. It's literally, the token is a bond, almost a tokenized representation of a stake for Hex, that you don't have to worry about the gas fees like me, where I'm poor and I'm like, how am I going to come up with an Ethereum coin in 15 years to have my Hex stake? No, I buy into a larger community stake. Beautiful. That's how I do that. So Decky is a 10-year stake. Maxi is a 10-year stake. I own some Decky and I own some Maxi. And so even in this market, I've gotten to enjoy my Hex tokens that I turned into Maxi tokens, 1 for 1, trade for more than the Hex. That's why I got so excited when I found out I could add Maxi to TradingView. When I can add Decky, that'll be awesome too, so I can track the actual premium. This is a brand new kind of financial market actually building here. And then also, can't forget about Hedron. Look at Hedron. Look at Hedron. So at this point, now, with another bang off this line, I think we gotta make this line a little thicker and a little stronger here. This is a very firm bull trend. And then, oh, this was our receding resistance. Okay, well, not no more. Now, I'm not going to quite delete it because probably move it where the next peak is and travel a little bit longer before we go and break over, but I don't know. Hedron does seem to be picking up steam, even though I said it was a long man's game. I'm happy I got in the first bottom. I didn't get to grab this bottom. It was about this price bottom that I got in. And, that's almost a 10x that I've seen here. That's pretty enjoyable. It's like an 8x. Oh, about the same thing I've enjoyed since the bottom of Pulse D when I grabbed that. And, the bottom of IM, some of these other things where, okay, I grab them where they're not going to be the next big thing. I'm not aping all into them. But I'm very glad that I put a few bucks in because those few bucks are a few more bucks. And Hex, I swear, it's going to take off. It really is. It's waiting for breathing, looking at this chart. Man. Oh, she's turning red. She's starting to fear. This is really tense. We should be on the 1 hour. Oh, heck. Oh, look at that. Overbought conditions trying to break this desperately. And it's holding it for a while. We had even a volume pickup, and I don't think it was enough. Oof, I don't know. This is going to be a tense weekend. Because, if it doesn't pick steam and it keeps riding down, well, we're going to drop below into the 18 ranges in the next week. It's not going to be pretty. We'll drop all the way down to 17.6 probably and try to regather to get through in November. We'll see how this goes. It's kind of like the groundhog checking its shadow right now. Go, old man Bitcoin. You're crap. Nobody knows it. You're going to keep getting bought. You're definitely going to have another pump and probably set another all-time high in the next bull run. But so many people are going to go bankrupt chasing it, like miners and the rest. Oh, poor people. Poor people. If only they knew better. If only they saw this channel. Don't share. Don't like. Don't subscribe. Okay? Like, my audience is already big enough. I'm starting to get nervous. You tell people about me, then you're going to tell people. Like, think about this like Fight Club. The first rule is don't talk about me. The second rule is don't talk about me. I'm having fun being a small fry and letting people know that, Richard Hart's building. Pulse Chain's coming. Nothing's changed there. When I first talked about it, it was a fork of Ethereum. Now it's going to be a fork of Ethereum 2.0. Little did I know, I didn't even understand at one point that it was being forked of the Binance census. I'm like, alright. But if the system state's being copied from Ethereum, it means the ledger, where everyone's assets are, what everyone's holding, being copied from Ethereum. But they were going to use the term of trust, how they establish, this is good content, the ledger hasn't been toyed with. How they established that was going to come from Binance. Well, they found an issue. That's why they're going to rewrite the code. I thought it was with Ethereum. Turns out it was with Binance. And then Binance got hacked. Oh, look. So the issue is there. Glad they were doing a rewrite. Ethereum launched, and stable code still. Okay. Ethereum has been like the trusted true, not hacked code. So they're going to go with the census that's working good. So still a fork of Ethereum. Great. Sturdy software. Great. Tokenomics change, so gas fees will be much, much cheaper. Great. Going to be faster. Great. Okay. So I'm still getting everything I was promised. Still getting the free copies. And, technically still the world's largest airdrop because tokens have launched in the last month on Ethereum that haven't necessarily launched on ETH-POW. So, we'll still see more tokens released on Pulse Chain. I'm gonna keep a smile. Try not to lose my. Yep. So whatever. We're still getting free copies of our tokens, so I get to play on a cheaper gas, better built chain. I don't have to worry about externalities selling for the miners the same way that proof of work has to do, and get the cheaper gas. Wow, like I'm getting everything that I would be promised anyway, as far as I understood it. So I ain't butthurt. That is coming soon, and I'm very thankful, Mr. Hart. Very, very thankful. Going to love playing on Paul's chain, where I won't feel so broke because I have projects that'll pay me in Pulse, and then I can use that Pulse to feel like a player on Paul's chain. Yay! 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 Because I stuck around all bear market watching things, and you know how guys love bottoms, so I keep picking up the bottoms in different assets related to around Hex and Pulse chain. That's been my basic strategy, and none of it has let me down. Hex has been the pillar of everything that I do. These projects are all one way or another related to Hex. Pulse Day was a free claim for Hex. Wait was a free claim for Pulse Sacrificers. They're trying to build a wallet for Pulse Chain, but they're going to release a little sooner. Okay. I might have been had a little bit, but the wallet's still awesome. And they're Hexicans. So they're trying to do good things for the community by onboarding new users to Pulse Chain where they can get assets that might help them actually, save some wealth. All right, I can still back that. So still, the projects I like are attached to the Hexican community in a good, supportive way where they've actually taken time to understand how will this be beneficial to the person using my project. And I have been very happy with my strategy so far. Again, I am not a financial advisor. I can't tell you what to do. I get my advice from fortune cookies. And I've just been very, very lucky that a fortune cookie told me Hex is the best thing ever. Invest everything around it. I'm like, thank you, fortune cookie. And I haven't been wrong. Now, there have been some projects to come up around it that have been scams. I didn't fall for those, though. Why? Well, I don't like reflection tokens. Okay, so any tax token I have not participated in. Funny how I haven't fallen for a single scam there. Okay, cool. What's the next rule that has kept me from being scammed? Well, I actually pay attention to the amount of work that goes into the project. Did they spend hours programming it last minute, like the morning before the project's due and the teacher's about to grade it? Did they spend all weekend working on it? Or did they start working on it the moment they got the assignment 2 months ago and were finished it a week early with beautiful stellar detail? That's the kind of homework I liked when I was growing up. That's the kind of work I like to see in my programming. And okay, so when I can see the programming, see the review, and it's good, great. If the programming seems rushed, flawed, doesn't make sense, no, I haven't gone for it. Like super inflationary to the point where the thing has a price ceiling for 8 years. No wonder I didn't go for it. I spent gas on free claims that had liquidity. I didn't spend gas on things that maybe I could have won a day. I don't waste money on stuff that has absolutely no basis to it. Hex has a community and a leader. That leader is still building. The community is building and growing. Okay, that gets me excited. That's where my investing is going. And even with all the pump mania over here on POW, okay, maybe it's going to bottom, maybe it's still not going to lead, but these are where all the vampires, the miners, the sandwich attackers started a chain because they're all being cut out. Oh, do you really want to go put your liquidity there? As much as Hexagon has been trying to push it, look at how badly this chart has been beaten over here. Still, could have a comeback. I'm not participating. I'll comment on it because it's Hex. And because this supports Hex. That's why I didn't sell anything I hold over here. If I'm wrong about this chain, at least I got my free copies. But I'm not buying anything over here. That's pretty much how it goes. Like that's just ouch. And to those who are and trying to prop it up, power to you. But I don't have that kind of economic force or pressure. I'm here to be saved. Um, I'm not here to do the saving yet. Maybe after the next bull run, if I have done things right, I will be able to do some saving in the next round and support things I like extra. Like, ooh, let me prop up the price because I love that asset because now I'm rich because I bought Hex and everything related to Hex. The Rich Heart was building, and really smart minds that are putting a lot of work into their programming for other projects that I've talked about on my channel. If I say the name, I'll probably like it. Might mean I'm at least watching it, or might put some money in it, or did put some money in it. If I won't say its name, it's because I believe in Richard Hart's belief there. I don't want you to go looking it up to prove me wrong. And I don't want you getting into trouble with it. I don't want you getting hurt by it. It's probably already been mentioned in the community many times. You probably heard about it. You might even ask me after this video, hey, will you talk about this project? You know, I maybe already did. Maybe I already talked about an 8-year inflationary project that creates a price ceiling. Literally. And I might have said the words, I know this for a fact because I will go spend gas to mint a free claim if it's profitable. And in something that unstable with that many sellers above my head, I would immediately take that profit. So no expectation to work of others, but yeah, I might literally actually go and mint Zen and sell it down if it ever gets above the price for the gas because I need money. And I'm sure there's probably some other people like that too. So it's a project with a price ceiling. And then let's take it a step further. So it was rushed. Uh, Not all the code was audited. There was even a line of code added to GitHub to tell the creator how to patch it so bots wouldn't be able to mint so much. And he rejected that line of code. And on purpose. And then we can go and look at that contract and see the top holders of that contract are all exchanges and validators. Oh, okay. So we know where all the supply went, so they're the ones dumping on everyone's head for all of eternity. Okay, because that's what the middlemen do. It's why we don't like middlemen in crypto. So I could take the same thing and I could upload that line change. Oh, I could also fix the math so it actually properly ramped down the way it was supposed to. And then I could change a letter in the name and I could launch it. And then I could fork that launch with another change in the letter name. And then I could fork that launch with another letter change in the name. Why not? We'll put it everywhere and then you've got to waste gas on all of them because they all might be the next big thing. Maybe I'll just fork it every week. So over the next 8 years, that would be 400 copies of it, still rolling and going. Why would the first one be the one that's most valuable, especially if it's the one that's not written so well? What if the other ones have higher price ceilings because they're written to exclude bots? Okay, that's some game theory for you. So yeah, I don't like to say project names, although I'll talk about details. So something new's out, and I'm vaguely knocking something, and then you ask me at the bottom of the video to make a video on it. I may have already made a video on it. So I hope at this point, since I got home early from work, I was able to touch base with you guys and tell you that, yeah, okay, we'll move this one all the way over with the ETH fair over here. That, yeah, I'm liking my weight. I'm liking my Polsty. I'm liking the fact that IM has been shifting around over and over again. Oh, look, another holder. There's still 58 spots left in the first 1,000 holders. That's how I'm OG in this little tiny project. I mean, it's not RH, but they've got a dev team, they've got a good CTO, and they keep working along on the wallet. Their beta test is still scheduled for November, and their version 1 is still scheduled for January-ish, February at latest. So they've got roadmap after version 1. Okay. I am liking what they're doing. So I've decided to do the risk and participate. That's a me thing. It's not Richard Hart. There's no guarantee this is going to be the next big thing. And I've looked at the buy pressure of the wallet. The buy pressure in the first year is going to be almost nothing as they're trying to ramp up users. Buy pressure might not from the wallet, like Pulse X, start ramping buy pressure very quickly. I've looked at it. The first month of buy pressure from the wallet per chain could be like $50 into liquidity or 100. Oh, well, that's gonna shove price so much. I know, but when you look at 2-3 years in the future, what that buy pressure could be, and well, now you drop thousands of dollars in a month. Ooh, that does something to price, especially when you look and there's only 25,000 in liquidity right now. So even if the price stayed still or went down for whatever reason for years while the buy pressure is building on it, the automated buyer from the wallet will continue to crack that up eventually, put money into the liquidity, buy the price up. And yeah, that's why I want to get in now. Maybe I'm way too early. Maybe the wallet won't work. Maybe all this stuff could go wrong. FUD, 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 FUD. But I like KG. I like Dawn. Maybe I like them too much. Maybe I'm biased and sentimental. But I like this chart. I really like this chart. This looks sexy. And so I am not regretting anything about here, and I'd feel really bad if I didn't tell people about this. So yeah, not going to tell you what to do. I just know what I'm doing. And yeah, my first love is Hex. This is where I go. This is where I default. If I have a little extra money, then it goes to IM. If I have a little extra money on top of Hex and IM, maybe I'll pick up some more Maximus. Or some more Decky, really, since it's on the discount right now. Because at the very least, even if this isn't a turnaround and there's still a bottom to come, I'm starting to get the feeling we're going to get a winter rally. The market has been so oversold. Everything's been pushed down. With news of the Treasury possibly acting to buy bonds. This could be it. The market psychology is weird. It could turn on a dime just on optimism alone, not on actual fundamentals of anything being fixed. But oversold condition and some optimism. And that could trade just like the other rallies. So let's take a look at Apple, because I commented on this the whole time for this rally. Zoom here. Alright, there we go. So I was commenting on Apple the whole time. Here's the top. And I commented the whole way down. But Michael Burr shorting, and I'm like, no, too early, it's still going. Or shorting too low, basically, because I'm like, oh, here comes the rally. Now, I didn't expect the rally to ever come back up to here, but it still did not make an all-time new high. It didn't break any of the low. It got close before it crashed down. This was basically a resistance summer rally. And what I'm starting to wonder is, like, oh, we just poked out of this trend here with Apple. Go figure. Do we poke out until no there? Could Apple be fighting that hard with their stock market that they're really not going to crash below this line, that they really found stability here? Is that the sentiment that looks like a buy flash? That's right. So anyone that I've called out, shorts to, just in case, this is where close. If you're holding any of these three and you actually watching me for these, and you shouldn't, because I'm not a financial advisor, I don't really know, but hey, look, if the trend's changing, well, the first one might be safe, because you might only get back up to that height, unless, oh wait, the bond market's really rescued and somehow Apple makes all-time new highs. But these two are in danger. They are in danger if we get a winter rally into New Year's Eve. That's my thought and a humble opinion of it, that All right, we're past the point where this green line is mostly respected. So yeah, maybe the first one at 172. If you heard me all the way back there when I shorted early on this side, mentally, I didn't actually open it. Didn't have the money for puts. Don't have the assets to do it. And it's picking up pennies in front of a freight train, playing with middleman D. Don't do it, you D-gens. But if you've been doing it, close. Always be booking profits. This is a book profit time. This poke above is a flash indicator. 1, 2, 3, 4, no good. 5, then we're going. So even if we come back down under, we might come back to retouch this a third time. Probably not. Maybe come down to catch this sentiment because we've got a peak here and pop back out, and we'll see a rally in Apple, in a few strong names. Let's continue to see a rally in the Dow Jones. So whether or not this is the end of the bear market or just a temporary rally, like if I can go all the way to the SPX and show you the trend, it kind of bottomed like in the summer and going up a little bit into the winter and a rally, and then came down for its bottom in March, and that was the bottom. And it did not last long. So all of this perfect DCAing in time. Because, am I really going to quabble about saving 10% or 25%? Because it might drop another 10%. It might drop 20% in price. Okay, but how much is it going up? 200, 300, 400% from its current one. It's just it'll go up more if you catch the lower gap. So I'm picking up pennies in front of freight trains again. Why don't I start DCAing into the things I like? Because Paul's chain is coming. Hex is going to see a future. The community has stayed together and strong. I've met even more people, and awesome people. Getting my programming skills upped. Level up. Beautiful. Get my economic skills upped. Beautiful. I'm learning more and more all the time, and I love it. The Hex community is strong. Yeah, some people splintered off because they're frustrated. They're upset. They can't hold some patience. I start buying November 10th, guys. Yeah, I'm a bear market hexagon that's been DCAing in his average cost lower, doing exactly what we're told to, and enjoying the fact that it's getting better on my portfolio. And when it takes off, I'll be laughing very happily, very, very happily, because, yeah, I didn't miss the bottom, because I've been buying the whole bear market bottom. Every dip in the bottom, so I feel extra good about it. And I call this stuff out for you guys, and that's where I'm feeling like, ooh, well, I've been recording this video. Look at that green candle popping back up. Love that. So hopefully this gives you guys some optimism, some hope that, you're still here. I'm proud of you. Like being in the market, not my standard gold star and a video brand. Thank you for still being in the market. And you're still trying to change your life. And you're probably in the market and talk to me on Twitter or Telegram and other things too, because my community is pretty small on this channel. And thank you for being there to teach me and get me thinking about projects, because sometimes I don't even know why a project's bad until somebody asks me, and I'm like, all right, let me think about it. Like, I didn't have a good feeling, because part of my brain thought it out and went, no, don't even waste the brain power on this. It's not worth your time. But apparently other people, okay, it's worth their time. I'll spend a couple minutes and think this through, and no, I don't like it. And I could still be wrong. I'm not God here. I am not, I want to say I'm not a genius, but okay, I'm technically a genius, but I'm a low rent genius. I'm not Stephen Hawking. I don't have a 190 IQ. Okay, I'm the low end of genius, which just means I'm better at being a smart ass than, actually being a god in some sort of field. However, a lot of community members like to respect my liquidity math, but I also like to remind them that other people came along and built these dexes, came up with this math. Other people came along and built the stuff that I am speculating on and showing how it functions from my understanding of it. So, there are very impressive minds, and as smart as I ever think I am, there's always somebody smarter. Because I'll say I'm in the top 4 percentile. That's what I was told. So in a room full of 100 people, 3 are smarter than me. I look for them. I like to talk to them. I like it when they brain wrestle me and make me feel dumb. It makes me learn something new. So, yeah, I have enjoyed learning about markets. I enjoy sharing what I learned. I hope you guys find my thesis again on the Treasury markets about to pull some shady stuff with bonds, rescue the market, pull a 2008 rebound, and not all assets still paying. The market is not perfectly fixed. We are going into recession, and interest rates may remain high, but still, certain parts of the economy will continue to thrive, I'm thinking. I will talk more about it as it unfolds, and we'll keep looking at it. But as for right now, hold Bitcoin, hold your breath, hold your breath. We're right there, the massive line. Oh, it looks even more daunting when we go and really scale the volatility. Like, yes, we're hitting a wall. It's not as much of a ceiling as a wall at that angle, right? It's good and frightening for the day. Love to pick on Bitcoin. Without it, though, we wouldn't have the rest of our crypto projects. So thank you for being there first, Bitcoin. Respect your service. It's time to retire or get a roadmap at least. You're doomed. You're seriously. It's like when the Titanic could see the iceberg and didn't turn. Like you had time. You had warning. Why? 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 Bitanic? The Bitanic. That's what it's turning into. But I've done my math on that. So, yeah, I'm rambling at this point. Pretty sure I've caught you up on most of my thoughts. Hope you enjoyed this nice long video. I missed you guys. And till next time, stay frosty.